So yesterday in last session, we saw how to configure admin roles, right?
Ye- Yes, sir.
Today we are going to talk about user roles.
Mm.
Now, what is the difference between an admin and a user role? So by default, user is configured with the default settings of the Outlook web access, but we want to allow user or we want to restrict user with some settings and we want to give them a custom role. At that place, user roles comes into the picture. So here on the permissions tab, we have second tab of user roles. So at present, we have default role assignment policy. So if we go to the recipients, let's say I'll take the user Sonali. We'll go to the properties of the user Sonali. We'll go to mailbox features. And here role assignment policy, we have default role assignment. We have default role assignment for this user Sonali. Now, if we go to mail flow, yeah, if we go to servers, virtual directories, here we have Outlook web access default policy. So if you go to edit and features, these are the features which are at present available to users. If I click on more options, these all features are available to users. Right. Now I want to customize these options. I want that users should be restricted with some features. For example, if I go to file access, they have file access. They can share public file on public network also, on private network also. And these all features are enabled with the users. Now let's for example log into a user. We'll go and log in with a user Sonali. Go to Outlook Web Access. Sonali at the.com. Right, so these are user Sonali. Now if we go to settings, options, so we have all these options available with the users. We have all these options available with the user. If we go to general tab, here we can see user has the distribution group rights also, right? So user can search for a distribution group. Let's say we have any another distribution group. Let me see. Right, so we have a distribution group called IT, and maybe we have another distribution group which we have created. We have sales group also. We have sales group also, and if we go to the membership of this group, Sonali is not member of this group, right? Let's Sonali searching for this group, sales group. He's searching for the group sales. Share IP. Hold on, maybe we have not created any group which has permissions like that. We want to create a group. Let's create a new group, distribution group. Yeah, we kept it. So let's create a new group, test group. We make this part of domain users, HROU. At present, I'm not adding any members and we'll keep the open. Any user can join the group and any user can leave the group. Okay, yes, we can test group. Save it. Now let's ask somebody to search for the group. We created a distribution group only, na?
Yes, sir.
Distribution group only. Okay, leave it. It is not getting searched. Maybe some issue with my service. Right. So basically, we have all these features available with the user. Right. Now we want to limit the user with any of the features. So we have for that user roles. Now let's sign out with the user Sonali. Close this and we'll come to the permissions tab. We'll create new user role policy. Let's say policy for Sonali. User Sonali. So now here we can define what we want to give. So I want to give my contact information. I want to give profile information. I don't want to give distribution group option and distribution group membership. Just a second. I don't want to give distribution group membership and I want to give, I don't want to give any custom apps, no marketplace apps. I want to give all the base options which are available. That's all. I'm not giving any another thing. Let I'll click save. So a policy for user Sonali has been created. Now let's go to the recipients. We'll select the user Sonali. We'll go to mailboxes. So my user Sonali is selected. We'll go to properties of the user Sonali. We'll go to mailbox features. And in the role assignment policy, from here, we will select the policy for user Sonali. So previously, this policy was not available here because no custom policy was created. Now we have created one custom policy and we are assigning this for user Sonali. You click save. Now we'll launch Outlook Web Access and we will ask user Sonali to log in. Let's ask user Sonali to log in. And when she is navigate to options, right, you can see now the distribution group option has been moved. We didn't give her the option of distribution groups, right? It is moved. And if we click on here, she has all these options, right? So this is how the user role options work. Now, if we log in with any another user, let's say I'm logging with user Krishna. I'll log in with user Krishna, we'll validate that user Krishna has the same settings or not. If we go to settings, options, general, Krishna has distribution group option, but Sonali was not having the option. of distribution group because we assigned with her with a custom user role. Clear with the user role?
Yes, sir.
Now let's move ahead. And if we go to servers, and on my server, this I'm having at present only one Exchange server. On my this Exchange server, if we navigate to properties, and if we go to transport logs, my transport logs are enabled. My transport logs are enabled, and this is the path. So if I copy the path, just copy the path and open the run menu. So you can see this is the path, the default path where my Exchange server is deployed. Right, this is the custom path. Program files, Microsoft Exchange server, V15 transport rows, logs, and message tracking. So my message tracking is enabled and is at this location. Right. So message tracking logs are also enabled. Connectivity logs are also enabled. Now, the default period for message tracking log is 30 days. The maximum age is 30 days. So it is going to store the logs up till 30 days. And the maximum log file size is 10 MB. Log file size is 10 MB. So let's go to Exchange Management Shell and review the same thing. So we will launch the Exchange Management Shell. Yes, so I have launched Exchange Management Shell. Now let me clear the screen first. Now I want to review that my transport service is enabled or not. Right, so I can type the command get transport service. Now here I need to provide my Exchange server name. So it is d member 01. Then I'll pipe it in the format list command with the wildcard character message. And I'll press enter. I can see the message tracking log is enabled. It is true. Message tracking log subject logging enabled is true. So when the user logs in, connectivity logs are also enabled. The default log maximum logging age is 30 days, and the log file size, right? Maximum log file size is 10 MB, and the log directory size, right? How much the folder should be go to the size, right? So once it reaches 1000 MB, so it is configured to 1000 MB, so it reaches 1000 MB, then the older logs will be automatically deleted. So now, first of all, I want to configure that the log file size should be of 20 MB. I want to configure that my directory size should be of 5 GB. And I want to customize this path. I don't want to use this path. This is the default path of C drive. If my C drive crashes, OS crashes, then what about the logs? Right. So I don't want to use my this default path. I need a custom path. So first of all, I'll create one folder and over there we'll be storing the logs. And third thing I want to do is I want to change the maximum log age, which is by default 30 days. I'll make it to 90 days. So let's first go and create a folder. I'll go to my E drive. So logs folder is there for my databases. Right. I'll create one more folder, message tracking, and I'll copy this path and we'll execute a command, set transport service command, set transport service, where I'll define my server name, d member 01. Then I'll define message tracking log path, right? Message tracking log path, and I'll provide the path. Then I'll provide the message tracking log maximum file size, which I need as 20 MB. Then I'll provide as my directory size, which is at present 1000 MB. I want to configure as 5 GB. So message tracking log maximum directory size. So just I'll configure as 5 GB. And the last time I want to configure the max age of the log. So I'll say max message tracking log max age. And I want to configure to it 90 days. 90. So I'll execute this command. We press enter. Right, so no error. We have no error. So command got executed successfully. Now again, we'll run the previous command, right? So get transport service team member format list message. So now we can see that my log max age is configured to 90 days. Maximum directory size is configured to 5 GB. Max file size is configured to 20 MB. And the log path is message tracking, forward message tracking, right? So I have configured the transport service successfully. Now let's go and log in with any of the users. Let's go and log in with the users. Let's say I'll log in with user Krishna. I'll just refresh my this screen. We'll log in with user Krishna. Now let's ask user Krishna to send an email to Seema. Right? So just email for tracking. Hello Seema. This is this time. Let's email to verify message tracking. Thanks, Krishna. Right, so Krishna is sending an email to Seema. Let's click on send and we'll validate and send items. So test email for tracking has been sent. Right, the message is sent. Now let's log out the user. So let's come back to the Exchange management shell. I'll clear the screen and we'll run the command get message tracking log. So now here we are able to see that the notify MAPI service got triggered, right? With the user sender Krishna.teja, and the message was sent to user Seema.patel with a subject test email for tracking. This was the subject. You can see this is the whole process. What happened when the message started, it got triggered, and when finally it was delivered. Right. So first of all, it is delivered to users with Seema, and it is also journaling is also enabled. So it also got journaled. It also got journaled. So here we are able to see that our service is working fine, our tracking is working fine. And apart from that, if we go to the new path, right? F drive message tracking. So new logs have been created now, though the file size is small, right? So these three types of logs have been created and they are getting stored. So if I open I've opened the file and we can see this logs have been created. You can see the original sender was user Krishna, right? And it is validating. So it is storing my connectivity logs also and message tracking logs also. Clear with message tracking?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
You have given the file size is 20 MB.
Mhm.
Like if it is more than 20 MB, the notification the tracking will appear.
File size of the log file, it is the size of the log file.
Okay, okay,
So the log which is getting created, right? This log size, this file size I have given 20 MB.
okay, got it, sir.
Okay. So previously when the exchange was there at this path, right? So you can see here, these all file sizes are not more than 20 MB. So sorry, 10 MB. Reason being that uh, less logs are created. So day-wise logs are created, right? So if my daily flow is more, the log file size should go to maximum 20 MB. The default size was 10 MB. I can configure 50 MB also. Getting the point?
Yes, yes, sir.
Because if there are small size of files, if files are created of 10 MB, then file size will be double. If it is of 20 MB, my file size will get reduced number of files.
Okay,
So my storage is going to consume the same only. But the point is, if it is creating daily 200 files of 10 MB, instead of that, it will create only 100 MB file, 100 files only of 20 MB.
okay,
Got it?
got it, sir. By default, in the organization, file size also how much it would be, sir? 10 MB is enough or 20 MB?
So generally we keep 25 MB is the default, but it is customizable attachment size. We have seen that session. We can customize the attachment size.
Uh, okay, that is okay, sir. I'm asking about this one, file size, like log files. So by default in the organization, the log files.
It varies or default size will be 10 MB only.
Okay, okay,
Default size will be 10 MB only, but as per the organization's uh, environment, it can be customized.
okay, sir. Got
Got
it,
it?
got it, got it. Clear. Yeah, clear, sir. You created a folder and move it to from C to F folder
Hmm.
and change the file size, log file size, and also the directory size, and change the date from 30 days to 90 days. Tracking for
Yeah.
the tracking, right?
Yeah. So now we have one more concept in our exchange, Postmaster email address. Now, what is this Postmaster email address? So the Postmaster email address is the address which is used as the default sender address by your Exchange server outside of your organization, default sender address, right? So that is the Postmaster email address. So by default, it is blank. By default, it is blank. So if we go to mail flow, receive connectors, and here we have three dots. If we go to three dots, organization transport settings, and if we go to delivery, and here we have external postmaster address. So by default, it is set as blank. So we want to give our customized postmaster email address. So I can give any email address, but it should be that mailbox should be available in your exchange, right? So let's go and create one mailbox. I'll create one mailbox, user mailbox. So I'll say it is Postmaster. I'll say new user, Postmaster. Display name I'll give Postmaster, or you will give as resources, and I'll give the username as Postmaster. Password, and I'll select the mailbox database as mbdp01, and we'll create the user. So we have created one email address, postmaster at the rate domain name. Now we can configure using Mailflow receive connectors transport settings. I can configure, go to delivery, and I can configure here also, but we'll see how to configure using Exchange Management Shell. So I'll clear the screen. I want to configure using Exchange Management Shell. So first of all, I want to fetch the information. So I'll see get transport config, where I'll pipe the output in the format list by external postmaster address. So at present it is external. So my spelling mistake is a postmaster address. So you can see it is blank. It is blank. It is not configured. I want to configure it. So we'll use the set command, set transport config command, and we'll say we want to configure external postmaster address, and the address value we want to give as postmaster at the rate sp.com. We press enter. So we didn't receive any error. So it is configured. We'll run the previous command again. Now we can see we have configured the postmaster address as postmaster at the rate sp.com. Now let's go to our Exchange Admin Center. We'll refresh the console. And if you go to Mailflow again, receive connectors, organizational transport settings, delivery. So we can see we have successfully configured the postmaster at sp.com. So I can delete here. If I want to remove this, I can delete here. Or if I want to change again, I can go and run the same command. Or I can change over there also. But let's say I want to make it blank again. I want to make it blank again, the default settings. So what we can do, we can again use the same set command, set transport config command, and here external postmaster address, I'll convey as null. I'll convey as null, and we'll press enter. So now it is configured as null. If we run the previous command again, get transport config, so you can see now again it is set back to as null. So let's again configure as same postmaster at the rate sp.com. So this is how we can configure postmaster, external postmaster address with our Exchange server. Clear with this?
Yes, sir. Setting external like a postmaster as external postmaster's address is okay. It's clear, sir.
Hmm.
Sorry, my state the theory part. Can you how it is useful, sir? Like
So when we are sending emails outside the organization, so this would be the default address.
okay,
So let's say if user got a bounce back mail, right? So bounce back mail, if let's say we have restricted a user for the attachment size is 10 MB, but some another user outside the organization is sending a 12 MB file. So the message will get bounced back, right?
yes, sir.
So that the default address which Exchange will send will be postmaster address.
Okay, okay. And
Got
all,
it?
yeah, got it. And also this I have seen like if sender address is not correct, we get the bounce back mail. Like
Yeah.
I have seen in the G postmaster at the rate something.
Yeah. So that is the postmaster address. So it is not necessary you should have only word postmaster, but postmaster, when you give the word postmaster, so the default, see, what is exchange? So it is a email delivery platform. So it is basically message delivery platform. So if we compare with the traditional days, we used to have postmans who used to deliver messages physically. Remember?
Yes, sir.
So in that terminology, since older days, it is being used as postmaster address.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Now we'll clear the screen and we'll see how to configure auditing for a specific user, how we can enable editing for a specific user. Right. So at present, I'll fetch information, let's say for Sonali, which is Sonali, get mailbox where my identity is Sonali Kendre, and I'll hide the result with the audit option. If I want to see the result for audit, so at present audit enabled is false. Audit enabled is false and log age limit is 90 days. Log age limit is 90 days because we configured the log age limit as 90 days. Now I want to configure audit. I want to enable the audit first of all. And if I want, I can configure this 90 days to 365 days also. That is possible. We'll configure this log age limit to 365 days. So let's run the command set mailbox where we are configuring identity for Sonali Pendre, and want to enable the auditing enabled will configure as true, and we'll also parallelly configure audit log age limit as 365 days, and we'll press enter. So command got executed successfully. Now let's run the previous command again. So now we can see my auditing is enabled for this user and log age limit is 365 days. So these audit logs will be stored for the 365 days for the whole year. The user logs will be stored for 365 days for this user Sonali. So this is how we can enable auditing for a respective user. And if I want to disable it again, so what I'll do, I'll run the same command. Instead of true, I'll make it false. And if I run the same command again, get mailbox, so you can see now my audit is enabled false, but log age limit is 365 days. Because I didn't reverse that, I didn't modify that, I only disabled the log. Clear how we can enable auditing for a user mailbox?
This is clear, sir. One thing to clear from my side,
Hmm.
uh, like how auditing works, how it we can, how it useful for the admins, like how we
See,
can.
auditing is generally useful when we enable auditing for a user when we want to track that user. We want to, let's say, we have caught that user in any suspicious activity and we want to keep an eye on that user, right? We want all the logs what that user is doing, right? So we can enable auditing for that user.
Okay, so it is useful to view the suspicious activities.
Yeah, so it depends organization to organization.
Okay,
Getting the point. It is
yeah, sir, got it.
for
So,
organization to organization, the purpose will vary. It
okay,
is not necessary for one user, one organization, it is same. For another user, it can be different.
okay. So basically, it comes under compliance and security.
Correct,
Uh,
correct, correct.
okay,
So
so
basically, we are tracking the user for everything.
okay,
We are tracking the user for everything. So the message trace logs are different. So that is only the that message is getting delivered or not delivered, etc.
hmm.
Right? But here we are tracking the user.
Okay.
Right? So that's why we enable auditing. So we can enable auditing for a single users or multiple users. If you want to write a script, you can enable it for multiple users.
Okay. So, one thing like, so we check the audit files. If we get any suspicious activity happened for a particular user or users, so then
Hmm.
we the audit files in under compliance portal for a particular
Yeah,
user.
compliance portal. See, uh, compliance portal is separate thing. We in Exchange, we a server, we don't have compliance portal. We have compliance management, right?
Okay.
We have
Uh,
auditing and we can enable auditing, right? So you can use this reports for auditing, but auditing should be enabled for a user to get the reports,
yeah. Okay. Got it.
right? So when you have not enabled auditing, you will not get any reports. But here we have compliance section. Compliance portal is so you are talking in the terminology of Office 365, where we have a separate compliance portal itself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So here we don't have a separate compliance portal. We have just compliance section where we can review the audit reports. So you can pull the audit reports as a non-owner mailbox access report. So if you are not owner of the mailbox, you can still pull the reports because you are the administrator. Or you can run an administrator role group report. So whatever admin activities have been carried out, you can pull that report also. You can export mailbox audit logs also. You can run an in place. So in place and litigation hold activities also you can pull. You can run the admin audit log also and audit log report also. You can here export, you can run the report also. Got it?
Got it, sir.
Right. So we'll keep this much for the today.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So remaining will resume on Monday.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Fine.
Okay. So we'll conclude the session and from Monday we'll be having